There it is. The holy grail of Christmas gifts, the Rick Scott and Laura Trump combo Florida Senate package.
Ralphie, what would you like for Christmas?
Horrified, I heard myself blurt it out.
I want an official Rick Scott and Laura Trump combo killer Florida Senate package that will shoot your eye out.
Wow, that's great.
We know you have to be senatorial, all right? But we'll say it. We freaking wanted Rick Scott for later in the Senate. We said it, and we are not ashamed of it. You're a great patriot, sir.
Well, yesterday was thank you, Biddy. And by the way, thank you for all your support. I want to thank everybody for their support. But we changed the Senate. The other two people running agreed that we need to change how we run the Senate. We're going to focus on the Trump agenda, and we're going to get his nominees done. So we got to get those things done. Yesterday was a very good day for America. Christopher Wray resigned. I mean, think about it. What bothered me the most about him is all these actions and never an explanation. Never an explanation. And then, as you know, he canceled the last hearing to come and try to explain some of these things. But why did he raid Mar-a-Lago? Right? Why did he go after Catholics? Why is it just tell us? Like, I'm a U.S. senator. I should at least get something, right? Right? Some information. But no, but the truth is we have great FBI agents all across this country. We need to have Kash Patel as the leader because then we'll have great leadership at the FBI.
Yes. Have you met with Kash Patel? I know you have, right? We have the photo, right? Have you met with Kash? Yeah, please explain that meeting. And obviously, and there's plenty of private stuff that can't be described, but you seem to have a very high confidence level in Kash Patel getting this chair.
Well, I've known Kash for quite a while, and here's a guy that he is committed. Here's what the FBI has done. So I just finished my race for re-election. As I gave speeches, I say, how many of you trust that they're going to tell us all the information what happened in Butler? Maybe the Secret Service director or Mayorkas. Oh, yeah, he'll tell us. Or Christopher Wray. I bet thousands of people I asked this question to. How many people raised their hand in the last 12 months? Zero. No, everybody, every American has lost trust of Wray, of Mayorkas, of every federal institution, DOJ, because they've all been weaponized. They did everything they could to just absolutely destroy Donald Trump and destroy the fabric of this country.
So when you met with Kash, what will be some of the things that happen to fix that? Because, and I know it makes me somewhat unpopular, but I actually want to trust the FBI. And let me make that, I want to trust federal law enforcement. I want federal law enforcement to go get bad guys and to keep me safe. That is the only reason that I'm okay with my taxpayer dollars going to them. I don't want FBI agents to be sitting there kneeling for George Floyd and BLM as they march through the street as terrorist organization. That's what I want my FBI to do. I want to trust my federal government. It's just my federal government has not done anything deserving of my trust. So how do we reestablish that? Did you and Kash talk about that, Senator?
So the way it's going to happen is Kash is going to create transparency. There's not going to be surprises. He's going to tell you what they're doing. He's going to stop this weaponization of the FBI. And I'm very sure Pam Bondi is going to do the exact same thing at the Department of Justice. They're going to stop this weaponization. They're not going to go after people just because they're Catholic or just because they're conservative or just because they're anything except if they're a criminal. So they're going to do everything they can to tell you what's going on and go after the bad guys. I think both Kash Patel is going to do a great job, and I think Pam Bondi is going to do a great job. It's going to take a while for the American public to come back and trust our federal institutions, because what the Biden administration did and Obama did it also with Eric Holder is we lost trust in many of the leadership of law enforcement, not the people that are out there doing the job every day, because they're doing what they're directed to do. Not the people that had to go to Mar-a-Lago. It's the decision to possibly use lethal force against the president, former president, potentially president-elect of the United States. That you cannot defend that. What Wray did. There's no defense to it at all. I mean, first off, you have Secret Service there with guns. I mean, they're keeping. I mean, it made no sense.
Do you think that there could be consequences for Christopher Wray from a legal perspective? Do you think that he's going to need one of these, Costco card pardons from President Biden because of this? Because he's behaved in a clearly illegal way.
everybody needs to be accountable. Everybody needs to be. No one's above the law. Donald Trump is not the type of person that wants to go after, just spend all of his time just going after people. What he wants to do is do the right thing for the American public. So he didn't go after people that clearly did the wrong thing, like Hillary Clinton before. I don't know what they'll do in this regard, but what we've got to do is we've got to bring trust back into our federal government. So I'm very optimistic about Trump's nominees. Pete Hegseth is going to be a great Department of Defense. Pam Bondi, Attorney General. Cash is going to be a great FBI, and there's others. The Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles, is a great friend. She's going to be a great Chief of Staff. I'm really excited. Now, our job in the Senate is to do our job. The number one thing, what Trump went on, the border. We've got to get a border bill passed quickly with all the resources so Donald Trump can secure the border. We got to do it, and we got to get his nominees done. That's what our entire January ought to be. Every minute, those two things: border nominees, get those things done.
Yes, Senator, we keep saying like advise and consent doesn't mean sabotage and destroy.
Well, some people think that's what it means.
Yeah.
But if you look at Trump's nominees, they're fighters, they're smart, right? They're going to work with the president. They believe in the president's agenda, not some agenda somebody else. They're going to do their job, and they're going to bring sanctity back to the federal government, and there's going to be trust in the federal government going forward.
Could you please explain to me what the reticence is with some of your colleagues, especially from dark red, ruby red states, that are saying, no, I'm smarter than President Trump. I'm going to give these nominees a really hard time and probably vote against them, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, let's remember, Washington is a swamp. Washington doesn't want. They're not out there excited about President Trump being here. They're reluctantly saying they support President Trump. So that's why what we've got to do, and what I'll tell you what you're doing. You're making everybody in the Republican Senate and everybody in the House. You're making us all better because you're reminding us what people voted for. They voted for Donald Trump, his nominees, and his agenda. And when you tell people, when you talk about it, and they let their senators know, there's a greater chance the right thing's going to happen up here.
Fantastic. Now, I know that Susie Wiles ran your campaign. Is that correct? Like you and Trump shared the same campaign manager. Is that correct?
Yep, she ran my first race when no one thought I could win. Every poll said I would lose. Every Republican was against me. And you know what? She was also told she'll never work in Republican politics again because she ran my first race because I was not the establishment candidate.
Wow.
So I guess it all worked out.
Now, I know that Susie is a very humble person. She doesn't like the limelight, nor does she seek it. But maybe you could give us some insights into the incoming chief of staff for the White House, arguably one of the top 3 most powerful positions in the entire federal government.
In the entire world.
Yeah.
So here's what you're going to find with Susie. She's really smart, and she's very reserved, and she's a great listener, and she knows who she works for. She knows her job is to get the Donald Trump agenda done. And that's what she's going to do every day. She's going to protect the president from his enemies, and she's going to get his agenda done. You want her on your team, and you want her to be the leader of your team. It's what I went through in the primary and in the general election in 2010. She was there every moment, making sure we won by taking care of all the people that are trying to prevent us from winning. And so she did a great job with Trump. Donald Trump is a great candidate, but she was a great campaign manager to win this year. All the establishment and many Republicans didn't want Donald Trump to win.
Yeah. We got a photo of Mitch McConnell in a wheelchair yesterday leaked to us. Many senators have spoken to us sort of off the record and said, man, he's suffering, and people, they're effectively lying to the country about his physical state. Now, you're welcome to expound on that. I know you got to be a gentleman. But we've all seen the on-camera seizures or, lapse of senility. And now we just heard that he fell down and hit his head again. And it seems like the merciful thing for Mitch McConnell to do would be to again, be a gentleman and resign, right? You're 82. You've had your time. What's the state there? What's the state of play there with McConnell in the Senate? It seems to be quite alarming.
So in the last 12 months, he's had a really hard time hearing when he comes to the Senate. I see him at the Senate lunches. He's having a really hard time hearing. I've not actually seen him since he had the fall. I think it was after I left lunch on Tuesday. So I haven't seen him. He didn't come to lunch yesterday, so I didn't see him yesterday. So I have no idea how he's doing right now. I saw they had the bandage. I guess he must have hit his face. But I have not talked to him or seen how he's doing. Like everything, we all hope everybody gets better.
Yes.
But it sounded like he had a bad fall.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, right. Like I'm Mitch McConnell's best ally in the world. Same with Joe Biden. Like there are times in life where you should like take a step back, right? Chill with your family and grandkids. Like appreciate the appreciate the golden years as they call them. And we highly encourage Senator McConnell to do that, right? Moving quickly into what the Senate can accomplish, because I know we're up against a hard out. The Senate accomplishments after the nominees are all in the chairs. Do you have absolute certitude, first off, that the Senate will confirm all of Donald Trump's nominees? And then what do you, Senator, want to see as the first agenda item out of the Senate?
First off, I'll be surprised if all of his nominees are not confirmed. I actually will. I think a lot of people went after Pete Hegseth. I think he's going to get I don't know one Republican senator that's going to vote against him. Wow. And I think that's going to be true for all these nominees. I mean, they're great nominees. That's number one. We got to do that as quickly as we can. Yeah. So we'll be back in session full time starting January 6th, and we need to stay here until we get these nominees done. That's number one. Number two is we've got to get the funding for the border. What they need is they need more Border Patrol agents. They need more ICE deport agents to do the deporting. They're going to need more money for both the wall, for technology, for vessels. They're going to need more money to help local governments that are partners. Didn't sound like Chicago is going to be much of a partner, but there's going to be other local governments that are. So they're talking about spending about 85. The numbers have been thrown around $85 billion. So my goal is let's do that, and let's focus on that, and let's do that every day and get that done. It's the most important thing we can do, and we can do that through reconciliation, which we can do with 51 votes. So that's the most important thing we should do, and we should do everything we can to get that done before Inauguration Day, January 20th.
Wow, that would be amazing. So you could line it up for the president to sign it.
Absolutely, that's what should happen. So I don't know of any Republican senators that are not on board. We'll see how long it takes us. There's going to be a conversation about, should we add something else to the bill? I mean, look, there's a lot of other things to do, but you can't get it bogged down with trying to do other things. I think you have to really focus on getting the border done, because that was the most important issue in this election.
Yes. That you just made some news there. So you don't know a single senator that's planning on voting against Kash Patel, Pete Hegseth, these Trump nominees. So
not one person has said it to me. I don't think they're going to vote against these nominees. Something would have to dramatically change. As these nominees go around and talk to people, they see the quality of them, the fact that they're absolutely patriots, they're fighters, they know what their job is. They're going to be transparent. They're going to work with Republican senators. So I actually have not had one Republican senator that said to me that they're going to vote against any of these nominees.
Wow, it is incredibly encouraging. I want to just end here with a final question about Doge. You're a businessman, a very successful one. You're one of the few senators that was a successful businessman and actually understands how to balance a budget and run a large company and do well in the private sector. Trump understands that, and I know you both speak the same language there. I know that you've been meeting with Doge and that you have connections there. Can you explain how they're going to begin to carve up this behemoth of the federal government?
First off, it is a big issue. We've had a 2% increase in population in the last 5 years and a 53% increase in spending. We've just in the 4 Biden years, we've increased the regulatory costs in this country by over $2.6 trillion. We only have a $28 trillion economy. So there's a lot of things we have to do. So most of this is going to be done through the executive branch. It's what I did when I was governor. Any successful business guy knows you have to control your cost, and you don't make it difficult to do your job. All right, that's what regulation is done. That's what big government does. So we all have to do that. We all successful business people do that on a day in, day out basis. I did as governor. I got rid of 20% of the regulations, the regulatory environment in Florida when I was governor, and cut the permitting time from some things from 22 years to 2 days. That's what's got to happen. A lot of that will be done through the federal agencies, and then some of it will need to be a partner in Congress. So I'm talking to Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. I think there's a lot of interest. I've been up here 6 years. I've been talking the same stuff for 6 years. This is the first time that there's been real conversation. It's like I put out my economic reports. I tell people what the issues are, but now people are really excited about it. And I think we're going to see a lot of success.
Yeah, I'm excited. Closing shot here. Where would you want him to start? Just if you were to tell us, so if Vivek's in your office and they go, where should we start? Where would you tell him, Senator?
I mean, I think the easiest is start with why are we giving money to illegal immigrants? Why, this doesn't make sense. We got our own problems. Let's stop that. I think we need to get rid of the Department of Education. I don't know why we need a federal Department of Education. Yes. But those would be I think I would start there. But there's going to be, in every agency, there's going to be opportunity for savings. Unbelievable savings. I mean, not a little bit. Unbelievable dollars.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're very excited about it. Very excited about these agencies finally getting good leadership. Carrie Lake at Voice of America, man, that just sent us last night.
Did you follow Argentina? In 1 year, Milei balanced the budget. 1 year.
It's amazing.
Now, I balanced the budget every year I was governor, right? Right. So it's all doable in 1 year. What Milei did there. So we can do the exact same thing here. We have to do that.
It can happen. Trump ringing the stock bell this morning, man. The great American golden era starts now. Thank you, Senator, for helping precipitate this and bring this to fruition. Obviously, you've spent your entire career fighting for the actual people. Please follow Senator Rick Scott of the great state of Florida, and maybe soon to be joined by Laura Trump.
Trump. She will do a great job. She'll be a great partner. She cares about this state. She's got a great relationship with the president. She will be a great U.S. senator.
650,000 people can't be wrong. Go follow the senator right now. Godspeed, Senator.
Bye. See you, Benny.